Mondays through Fridays, 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. in the newsroom. You can't afford to miss it.
You're welcome to the newsroom. What you surface my name. After this moment is what is actually happening to Nigeria's democracy, our art and democracy, the one we fought for before the Fourth Republic was established on the 29th of May 1999. Whether you like it or not, people will tell you, okay, more than 20 years into democracy, Nigeria is waxing stronger, and very clearly Nigeria is not going back to that era of the military. But the question is, how profoundly are we playing politics in Nigeria? This is come against the backdrop of Saturday's gubernatorial election in those states, which was eventually put to rest yesterday with the announcement of the candidate of the All Progressives Congress, His Excellency Governor Lucky Olimison Ayetatiwa of APC against the gubernatorial standard bearer of the People's Democratic Party, the major opposition party in Ondo State, Mr. Agbola Ajayi. With me in the studio is your friend and colleague, Kayode Adebayo. You're welcome.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Yeah, an issue that has continued to rear its head before the election, during the election, after the election, is the issue of vote buying. And I could recall sometime in 2016, Kayode, I was in Ekiti to report for OSBC an election that picked former governor Fayose, former governor Ayo Fayose, against former governor Shegun Oni, and another election in 2018 again. That was when the issue of vote buying in Ekiti State actually, came up. I cannot really say that was the first time the issue of vote buying at the court in Nigeria, but people are saying it was very much pronounced last Saturday in Ondo State. Do you agree with that?
Yes, that was about the major factor that they discredit the exercise. Although I can't see any fault of INEC in that. INEC has no play that. It is the politicians themselves, because all the parties that contested the election agreed that they engaged in vote buying. The only thing is that one is more than the other. So, and for those that are not over much amount, they are the one crying out that some people engage in vote.
And the voters will actually go for the highest.
For the highest bidder. That is it. So that is not the fault of INEC. That is entirely the blame of the politicians. But how do we go about containing this trend? Is what.
Okay. When you say it is entirely the fault of the politicians, what about the voters? What if you are farming 20 or 30, and I tell you that I don't want money, I want my votes to count. So where does the politician carry the blame there?
You see, the problem is that if there is no seller, there will be no buyer. Do you understand? It is because there are willing sellers, then
there are willing buyers
too. If politician doesn't offer money, nobody will ask for it. It is because they know that some people are offering money, then they are now demanding from those who doesn't want to offer. So now it is the politicians. The politicians are they carry the major blame in this exercise with respect to vote buying.
But some still are saying that it's because of the hardship in Nigeria, but actually people are looking for what to eat. So
even before the current economic situation that we have in the country, as politicians not been buying vote from the electorates, they have been doing it.
Apart from vote by inducing people with kerosene,
bags of rice and all other things, material things. So you see, I don't know where we.
But why are some people calling for the head of Mahmoud Yakubu, the INEC boss?
Well, it is. I don't know. You see, the thing is that it has almost become a tradition in this country that we always like to lay blame on the doorstep of those that do not commit offense. You understand? What we are doing in real terms is what we are carrying into the electoral exercise. Because even in some cases, ordinarily, get to whether police station or the court of law. It is the report, the report will favor, the report by the security agencies may go against those who are presumed to be the non-offenders anyway. Let me put it that way. Yes, in Yoruba parlance, man be before allowing. And that trend that has become part and parcel of our politics is what we carry into politics. Yes, people will see that this is the real offender, and they will begin to blame somebody else, especially if that situation doesn't favor their interest. You see, the inability to be objective, especially in election situations, is what used to cause that.
So people will tell you, okay, when you say that a particular election has been rigged, people will tell you can only read where you are popular. Is it true?
Well, you see, if you are not popular in a contest, it will be difficult for you to read. Even if you intend to read, you might not succeed in reading that exercise. It is true. But then, with respect to Ondo election, nobody can say that the election was rigged, except somebody that doesn't know what actually transpired during the election, or somebody that has not watched the situation in Ondo State prior to the election, and even during the election too, prior and during the election. If somebody has not been the watcher of the events, possibly the person can jump into conclusion depending on his interest. Because all of us are political animals, and it is a particular interest that favors your own mindset that you argue along. That is the problem we have. Who could have rigged that election? The margin was just too much. The margin was too. How will it be possible to rig
more than double
the
amount of votes
garnered by the
opposition party,
by the second runner? Do you understand? So for somebody to now be saying that you rigged 366,000 plus against 100, does that sound logical to common sense? Yeah, I don't agree. I cannot agree with anybody that that election was rigged. But my only concern was the issue of vote buying, and in which all the parties involved.
But all particularly the two major actors.
Yes.
So they all try to buy votes and all that.
That is it. And you see, there are so many factors that determined that the outcome of that election. You see, the incumbent governor, Lucky Ayedatiwa, is from the Ondo South Senatorial District.
Okay.
Agbola Ajayi is also from Ondo South Senatorial District, which means that the PDP are conscious of the fact that if they do not pick their candidate from the same senatorial district with the incumbent governor, they might likely lose the election. Now, but the North Senatorial District and the West Senatorial District, they are watching the event closely, and they are also very eager to wrestle power from whoever secure that from the South Senatorial District. So they are not likely, even prior to the election, we know that they are not likely to vote for somebody that will come and spend another 8 years.
Yes, okay.
For them to now wait for another 8 years, they will prefer to vote for somebody that will spend just 4 years. Because whether he likes it or not,
will spend 4
years and go. Because he cannot be sworn
so that
the times.
The ticket can now go to
he completed the term of Akeredolu, and before before he became the governor, in the real sense of it, he was sworn in. So Now, with this election now, it will be the second time that he will be sworn in as the governor. And the constitution doesn't allow anybody to be sworn in.
Just like that of former President Goodluck Jonathan. He completed
yes,
Yaradua's
yes,
term, then he did his
own. 4 years. And because the constitution does not allow him to go for third term, you see, even if he won that election, he could have created constitutional crisis. If Jonathan had won the election then, it would have led to a constitutional crisis in the country, because the constitution does not allow an individual to be sworn in more than 2 times. That is it. And the people of other senatorial districts, they are conscious of this fact. And because they are eager to also wrestle power from the South senatorial district, they prefer to vote for Lucky Aiyedatiwa. That was about the major factor that decided the Ondo election. That people will not talk along that line, because once a situation doesn't fall before them, they tend to blind their eye to all other factors. All other factors.
Well, let's now come to talk about it. Is it even good for Nigeria's democracy that we bring in vote buying in the first instance?
Nobody is saying that it is good. In fact, it is becoming a cankerworm in our body politic. And the earlier we tame the monster, the better. The earlier we tame the monster, the better for our democratic system. Because how long are we going to continue inducing people with money in order to secure their mandate? How long? A situation whereby you induce people to secure your mandate, nothing good can be expected from you. Even if you perform creditably, well, it will be a surprise. It will be a surprise.
Now let us look at the other angle of the credibility of the election. Ondo must have about 5 million people.
Yeah.
And let us say that those who are eligible to vote may be more than 2 million, and even not up to 1 million, or about that actually registered.
Yeah.
And the total vote cast not up to 600,000. So what do we say about that?
You see, that trend has been with us since 1999 when we started this current democracy.
That is voters' apathy.
Apathy. Well, whether we should call it apathy or I don't know. Because the thing is that people are interested in getting voters' card.
Exactly.
Especially to use for other purposes.
Other purposes, not
other than the
election.
election. That is it. You see, since we started this democracy, and it has always been like that, it is only an insignificant number of people that will select those who will
rule over 5 million people.
That is it.
And unfortunately, those who will sit at the comfort of their home watching television, switching from one channel television to another to monitor the election, are the one who will be writing articles in newspapers, coming on radio and
television. They will not come out to vote, but they are very, very good at criticizing.
They will be writing articles in newspapers, coming to social media platforms to criticize.
Even coming to radio stations. Ask them whether they vote.
Even some don't even have this voters card of
They don't have. Many of them don't have.
But they are good at telling you which governor is good, which governor is bad, which candidate is this, which candidate is that. Well, we still have a lot to learn because the United States of America has just had its own election on the 4th to 5th of November. And I don't think we have read anything about Kamala Harris and our party saying whether there is somebody induced anybody, to secure victory and what have you. Even though the election in U.S. had its own shortcomings, so ballot boxes were burnt in some states, ballot boxes were external and all of that, but it had very little effect because the huge of the election was electronic.
Yes.
So that is what exactly people are calling for, that Nigeria's elections should be hugely electronic. That when we do that, there will be no issue of vote by and all of
the thing is that, you see, it is true that our own electoral system should be made electronic. But much as we are canvassing for that, how much of this equipment are we manufacturing here in Nigeria? And that is the reason why when we import this equipment, it is always very difficult to get the right people to man them. And that is the reason why you used to hear of failure of machines in some areas. And then when we talk of the network issue, that's another problem. Thing. In this part of the world, we've never had it so good in terms of networking. We've never had it so good. And so it will, even common phone, if you want to make phone calls, sometimes you'll be calling and the network will just fail. So it is with all this equipment.
Equipment too.
You see, when you take some of this equipment to rural areas, the network become another thing. And if there is no network, there's nothing any official can do. And by that, people will now start complaining that INEC has done this, they have done that. How will you not think of all other factors surrounding the success of election before you now begin to blame INEC? You have to dissect everything. Sectoral dissection before you can now say, oh, INEC is guilty of this, guilty of that. To me, with respect to this Ondo State, INEC has performed creditably enough.
There is one thing also, because I too monitored it on various television stations, and when when the federal electoral officer was reading out the scores secured by each party, and when they are calling out each polling agent to come and append their signature, nobody raised any objection about it. Everybody kept saying that they were coming out to say, and I was wondering, were they being forced to sign anything?
It's because they know what transpired on the field. Yeah, they know, because they witnessed they were the eyewitness to everything that happened on the field. So they knew within their mind that this election witnessed vote buying. Yes. But beyond that, it was free and fair. Is that what they're trying to say? Yes, it was free. Okay. How will you now say because of vote buying, then the election is not free and fair? How many people were denied voting at the polling unit? It is when you deny some people even their right to vote, or you adopt a certain measure to deny people of their franchise. That is when you can talk that election is not credible.
Even there were two local governments where election was late because some government came and they were shooting sporadically into the air. That was what delayed the announcement. Yes. So they had to wait for the result of those two local. Yes,
from Ilaje and Eseodo.
And nobody actually said anything. Nobody said anything contrary when the two results were being announced. No dissension, no dissenting. Yes. Voice.
To me, INEC has done creditably well. INEC has performed well. Although to some other people, they might say INEC has not done well, it has not done fairly well enough.
It has compromised.
But what about the political parties that induce people with money? Even if you give me money and I go to the polling booth to vote for voluntarily, regardless of the money
you have given to me.
I mean, you cannot say the vote that I cast, it's not credible.
Because you are not there at the polling box. At the polling box with me.
Forget about the fact that you have bought my conscience. But the moment I go there by myself to vote, I have my conscience with me, and I decide who to vote for. And I vote without any molestation, without fear of harassment. You can't say that election is not fair. You cannot say.
Well, I think as we are going, there is a lot of lesson to learn from politicians, because a time will come when people will collect your money and they won't even, vote for you.
That is it.
And hopefully there will come a time in Nigeria when you want to induce people with money, and they will say we are not here because of your money.
That is it. Yes.
Either of the two.
Yes.
It's that you believe you have spent so much. People will collect your money, and by the time results come out, you say you have just wasted your money.
Yes.
It will not matter to people how much you have spent, because I know even in the case of those that are people might have collected money from party A, and they will at the same time go to vote for party B.
Yes.
And some would have collected money from party B, and they will go to vote for party A. Yes. So whatever amount of money you are given to them, you have not bought their conscience. But these kind of people are very few. Yes, and some are saying, anyway, you have addressed that, because some are saying, with the level of hardship in the nation, you cannot say people should not, should not collect money. But the question is, the 10,000 you collected on Saturday, even if you are the only one spending 10,000, maybe by this money you have 1,200 or 1,300, and the person you have collected the money from, you cannot go to him again.
To him and demand another.
Even those who cast their vote for you that one.
Yes.
Who collected whatever amount, they cannot go to him today again to say, Your Excellency, the money we collected from you, we have exhausted it.
So to give us another one. It's not possible. It's not possible.
Well, one beautiful thing about democracy is this, is that, well, we choose whoever we want to lead us. But you said something that I like. How can less than 500 people be determining the destiny of over 5 million people? And that is exactly the job for Ministry of Information, Federal Information, or Ministry of Information of various states, and the National Orientation Agency. Because I cannot imagine even a highly educated state like Ondo State, that less than 600 people came out to vote.
You see one funny thing about Nigerian elections is that it is always the masses that used to come out to vote. The elite doesn't usually come out. They don't come out. They don't come out. In fact, they are, if you subtract the number of votes cast from the number of those registered, you will find out that the elite are the one that carry the highest number of people that
registered but didn't come out to vote.
Come out to vote. That is it.
And unfortunately,
and it is this same elite that are supposed to know better.
Exactly. It's unfortunately, these are the people, when a particular governor wants to say, okay, I'm having a town hall meeting, it is this the elite who didn't vote, who will come out to tell the governor what to do, what not to do, where to do this, where to do that. And the masses who actually came out to vote but do not have the opportunity to come out to meet the governor, we continue to complain that in our community we have no roads, in our community we have no transformer, in our community we have no this. And the elite who do not come out to vote are living in the GRAs. They are living in the choice area of the state capital, and they do not vote. But they are the one to represent their people. When they go to meet a governor, at the government house. Well, this is how far we will be able to go today. We believe that, well, one day, someday, we will get it better in Nigeria. One thing we are happy about is that, well, we have our democracy. We can no longer say that our democracy is nascent. No, it's 25 years old. We are growing. But all these will of a thing, hopefully, and very soon, everything, will go to water to drink. Like the Bible will say, U.S. democracy started in 1776, and that is more than 200, years ago. So we believe one day we just have to make some sacrifices, either we like it, but like the late sage of Awolowo will say that the worst of democracy, the worst of civilian rule is better than the best of the military. But we have to play the game according to the rules. Oluwatoyin Yusuf is my name, and I have my colleague, Kayode Adebayo.
Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure hosting you too. Join our colleagues tomorrow, 3:30, for another edition of In the Newsroom. Enjoy the rest of the day. Good evening.
Mondays through Fridays, 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. In the newsroom, you can't afford to miss it.